Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. I wanted to make an update real quick on these two damn meme stocks that are just being a pain in the butt right now. I don't understand why they were red today, considering SPY was pushing some pretty high levels. But, I wanted to take a closer look at this because I don't think GameStop's going to run without AMC and vice versa. So there's got to be something here. And uh, I just want to say that like if AMC goes below 705, then I don't think that this pattern is following at all, and AMC might just be dead. And SPY might be the only thing worth playing anymore because this, I mean, so the pattern respected the higher high before the breakdown, just like the past here, right? It made a higher high. Um, but it's just continuously digging down here. And I said that that 725 was the bottom, but I'm not gonna say that this is the bottom again because it very well could just keep going down, and it's just like how exactly uh should we approach this without just the bear bias that has been working since June of 2021. And so I tried going a little bit deeper into it. So it's color coordinated here. So the red line over here is what I think is similar to, this bottom here. And then the yellow represents basically, you know, where it shouldn't break, right? Because it's very close, it's extremely close to breaking down. And even if it like retests 705, it wouldn't follow, right? Like the only thing where that really took place was before the actual January squeeze, where it made a new low. And so, if that's the case, okay, sure, but it still doesn't really make a lot of sense unless this pattern has been scaled down uh so so small that I don't know. Maybe this section here was just like a blip, and this was just extremely like a fundamental point in time, and that maybe we got that already, but I still don't think we did get that. I think if anything, like this has to be the bottom. Like there is no more room for it to go down unless it's just gonna go down really far, right? And this would kind of work against GameStop's favor, where you know, uh, it wouldn't it wouldn't squeeze. I mean, I refuse to think that GameStop can run to all time highs and AMC can go bankrupt. It's just I don't know why. I think they're synced. I think they'll go together. I think at the end of the road they will provide relatively the same returns, and that's what it's gonna be. So I don't understand why AMC was red today, but it was. So you know, I guess there's really nothing else to explain really, other than just kind of see my reasoning for these levels that I've marked. It is a little bit difficult to find out where this red should be. Like, I think, if the red is at this point, well, then that doesn't really line up, you know? Uh, cause, I mean, let's just see. So it goes up to the 50, I guess. I don't think this is going to really work out as well as I think. So the 50 would put it, goes a little bit above the 50. I mean, I think the 9.45 target is honestly on point. And it looks like the bottom signature really does play below the 23.6. It can't go down anymore, you know. So I think if you want to play the bull side, I think today was, you know, the day to do it. Hopefully it is bullish. I see SPY continuing to go up. I don't think. I mean, I think SPY is just bullish for a while, and like I said, until FOMC. Don't really want to repeat myself. I know it's annoying, but GameStop dug down, annoying as well. But that is the market, and I think it's just gonna probably play within this range, some range here, right? It might come down a little bit more, and then you know, we'll see. I think it's got a lot of time. It's got a lot of time to fill the 16 gap. That's ultimately what the goal is here, because any higher than it's going above AMC, and I don't know. That could happen. It has happened before, but recently I just don't think it has been. So, you know, it's technically it has 21 days to hit 16 or go up 30%, and you know, it could just slow grind it all the way up. At the bottom here, we have this megaphone pattern forming, and it looked like that support was found here after it broke below, and you know, it looked like it held its ground. If it digs down more, then it's gonna go for a retest of it again, and I'm afraid that if AMC makes a new low, then GameStop is kind of inherently dead, and that earnings will be kind of what pushes it up to fill the 16 gap. And you know, it would basically just come down like this, and then it would fail here, go for a spring same time AMC does. You know, go sideways, and then on earnings drop, it would come up maybe to fill up to 16, and then FOMC correction, comes back down, tests the breakout, and then maybe it spends, you know, I mean, it just doesn't really make any sense to me, you know. It really doesn't. So it all really comes down to tomorrow. If AMC is red tomorrow, or yeah, if it goes below 705, then one, I have no idea where it really is gonna go. I'm sure there are other resources out there where you could, you know, measure a move, see how low the spring could go. I mean, I don't, you know, I think on the actual chart, you know, maybe it tests the top of this court decision news day. You know, so it gets like 622 or something, and then it springs, but it still just blows my mind. It's one of those things that's really frustrating. MVIS, it's in a range right now, and it just has to hold that. So, you know, it's kind of right there on the edge. So MVIS has to be green as well tomorrow. If it breaks down, it'll come for this 15-minute gap, this 1 cent gap, frustratingly enough, which is, yeah, about 16% drop. And then it would kind of just hold this range, I think, for a while. That's if it's bullish. If it's bearish, it'll make a new low, I think, and then I think it'll just invalidate the pattern. So I mean, it's really on the edge. This is one of those days where, I would have gotten scared out of my calls in the past, but I think I'm just gonna hold on to it and remain, uh, just stay diligent on my path and on my strategy. So it's uh it's an interesting time for sure. Nvidia earnings are tomorrow. SPY did hit the underside of this main. I don't want to use. There's Yeah, it touched the underside of this momentum line, is what I'll call it, and if it needs to break above this, basically. So, based on the pattern, if it continues to go up and just rejects it over and over and over again, then the top could be forming here. If it gets above it, then we still have another phase. So what we'd like to see, this is rough, this is very rough, right? So we'd like to see something like this. And then FOMC, I don't think it's going to go this high by FOMC. It's a very confusing point. We'll just have to see where it goes, but basically, we want to see, one more section above this line, and then the last section below it, and then hopefully the top will be marked off by retesting the underside again. It would be very interesting to see it drop heading into FOMC. That would be very telling. Just kind of staying above this 465 level. And then FOMC comes out and it drops from this point. That's where it would correct. So a lot of things to watch for sure. Tomorrow's a very important day in my opinion, because it could go sideways, very possible, where it just kind of does this, for fucking 7 years. But ultimately, we want to see AMC hit this 945 level before GameStop earnings, so that when GameStop earnings does come out, it has an excuse to come back up. And then that way on FOMC, the excuse or the correction will allow it to spring and go low. And then that would ultimately bring it below the 705, which could ultimately be that 611 level. I don't think that's too far down, to be honest with you, but that's kind of what the path is. So tomorrow is a very important day. GameStop has to be green, AMC has to be green, Microvision has to be green, SPY has to be green. Everything, these 4 things have to be green, in my opinion, in order for this track to play out or to validate this track, right? And if it doesn't, then calls might suffer for some reason. It might take a little bit. I don't see. It might just be a hold cash until FOMC, and then when FOMC comes out, go puts on the raising rates news. You already know it's gonna happen. You already know. So yeah, that's just kind of the update. That's my feelings are at right now. Hopefully everyone did well, and I hope you continue to do well. And until next time, peace.